with him.
Hey guys, this is Dominique Wilkins.
Hey, this is Sean Kemp.
This is Gary Payton.
Hey, this is Pau Gasol.
NBA fans, what's up? This is Vince Carter here.
Hey, what's up? This is Matt Barnes. If you're an old school NBA fan like I am, make sure you check out the Basketball Time Machine with my man Sean David.
Hello and good day everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to the Basketball Time Machine. My name is Sean David. Let's talk some old school NBA basketball. Now, oh my god, really? A new Michael Jordan episode? Of course. In today's episode, we're going to take a look at NBA legends talking about Michael Jordan, a handful of new clips that I have recently found, some stories you might have heard in different versions, but there are two stories which I've never heard before, they made my day, let's put it that way. Anyway, but before we start with that, let me ask you guys for a small favor. Please subscribe to the channel and like the video if you enjoy the content. And I would say, let's get right down into it. Now, the first story that we're going to take a look at is from James Worthy on the Dan Patrick Show, and I think some of you might know this story, but the cool thing is that James Worthy extends on what he originally said in the Last Dance documentary, and he actually talks about Michael Jordan in college, how good he actually was, and kind of interesting. Let's have a look.
When did you know that Michael Jordan was better than you?
Well, I was, in his documentary, I say that, I was better than Michael Jordan for about 3 weeks. It took about 3 weeks for him to, because he always thought out the best, whether it was backgammon, chess, cards, he wanted to know who the best was. So I saw him, come in. And one of the things I think is missing is that you don't have these college coaches anymore that are ripping your egos away immediately. You're going to be a part of this team. And Michael bought into that. And with his talent, Coach Smith just elevated. I tease him a lot, though. He couldn't win another one without me. But yeah, I knew he was because he was a late bloomer, Dan. He really had a lot of talent, and then it just surged as he kept growing and getting older in the NBA.
But that's tough because you're the College Player of the Year, right?
Yeah. Along with Ralph Sampson. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So all of a sudden Mike comes in and you go, okay. And then all of a sudden you go, damn. Okay.
Yeah. I knew he saved us. I knew it was right around the ACC tournament. He started to really, make himself known against Virginia and some of those guys, Lee Raker and Jeff Lamb, those guys. Michael hit some big shots, okay? You go back and look at that game. When you look at the Georgetown game, we were kind of, losing a little bit. He hit a big left-hand shot over Ewing, one from the corner. And then, of course, the big shot he hit in Georgetown. I had to be the decoy, of course. That's why he was wide open. But yeah, I knew he had it, man.
Now the next player's opinion that we're going to take a look at is from Kenny Anderson, who unfortunately, I think I never had a clip of his on my show. Anyway, talking about MJ, I know he is a huge fan. Let's hear what he has to say.
He gave his answer. He's not disrespecting LeBron or anybody else.
Now, I'm going to tell you, let's look at the record. He got 6 titles, right? Jordan,
yeah.
6.
He's 6-0.
6-0. He never lost.
That's true.
Like, he never lost.
He
lost in the first round. He lost and didn't make it to the playoffs. There was other times
when he was playing baseball, he came back.
He lost other times. Are we just going to erase every loss with an asterisk?
No, because Boston was beating him down.
Yeah.
With 4 Hall of Famers in the starting lineup.
Could Michael Jordan go left?
Well, when I guarded him, he went left.
Right.
Come on, I used to get mad after 2 when he switched on. With a double at. Come on with a double at. Man, that man could do it all, man. That man could do it all. No, he could do it all.
All right.
I told you, I said no weakness.
No.
You might have called him early on.
And a lot of people who say, "Oh, he didn't pass the ball." He's a scorer. He's a 2 scorer.
Scorer.
Period.
He was a scorer.
I said, that's, and when he did get tripped, he found Jim Paxson. Won the game.
Found Kerr. Found B.J. Armstrong.
And that probably was like 2 assists a game.
All right, guys, the next story actually comes from Daryl Armstrong, who played for the Orlando Magic, and it is so entertaining to listen to this story. I did not know the details of the story, and it just tells you so much about MJ. Love that one. Thank you, Daryl. Let's hear it.
Play Michael Jordan. That's when Nick Anderson
Throw the ball.
Throw the ball. To this day, until I saw Last Dance, I did not know Nick Anderson said 45 is not 23. Oh, Lord. I would say, man, y'all, you don't shut the fuck up. What is you doing? So, game 2, he comes out, keeps his top on. They did the announcement. Wearing number 45, Michael Jordan. Yeah, crowd go crazy. Kept his top on. Boy, both teams broke out of the huddles. Coming to the court, that motherfucker took out that damn thing. I saw 2-3. I said, oh, Lord, we in trouble. Superman's in the field, back cat, whatever you want to call him, Jesus. We in trouble tonight. So they end up winning the game. The rest of the time, this was the crazy part. Every time he wore that number, they got fined 200,000. But we ended up winning 4-2 on that court. And he said, he kept thinking Orlando. Man, they played us there was Shaq last time in Orlando. They swept us. I never forget this, and you can go back and look at the stat sheet. Jordan had 2 free throws at the end of the game. He hit the first one and missed the second one on purpose. He was like, what the fuck you doing? Somebody said, look at the scoreboard. He left 45 on the scoreboard.
Tim, you know we're going to ask who, in your mind, is the greatest player of all time, Michael Jordan or LeBron James?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Michael, and I'll be the first to admit it's a little bit biased because my career was basically the decade of the 90s, and this guy dominated that decade, as we've seen throughout this documentary. I think, for me, a lot of the footage that you saw from the documentary is one of the reasons why I put him in such high regard, because of how difficult it was defensively and the physicality of the league when Jordan played and when he was winning his titles. I just think you have to take that into account. It was a totally different era, a totally different way and mindset of defending the paint and defending attacking players like Michael Jordan. And so to still be that good statistically and to have the 6 championships without a loss in the finals, for me, that will separate Michael Jordan from anybody else. But at least I do think the conversation is right if these are the 2 guys that you're having the debate about. LeBron is the only other guy, I think, that is worthy of genuinely being in that debate.
Okay. No Kareem, no Oscar, no Magic, no Larry, just LeBron and Mike for you?
Draw the line somewhere, Jay. Otherwise, the debate rages on. It's too hard to have a debate when you have that many names. So if for me, it's Michael Jordan always is going to have the biggest seat at the biggest table. But I think LeBron James at least has a seat at that table. But for me, that they're the 2 most comparable players in terms of their ability to dominate on the perimeter, inside out, their defensive prowess, their team success, the number of times they went to the finals, championships, all of that. I think it comes down to these 2 guys.
And Bill Russell's over there counting rings, but we just go leave him out of this. What was your mentality when you faced Mike and the Bulls in the 90s?
I always just got excited to play that team. And for me, I always looked at it like such a challenge in that it was not something that Michael Jordan was going to do to me in a one-on-one matchup if I was playing against him that he wouldn't have done to a million other guys. And so all I could do in that situation, in a no-lose situation, was play well. And if I played well for a stretch against Michael Jordan and I guarded him well in a number of possessions and, if I contested some shots and I forced him to miss some tough shots, well, then you come off the floor and everybody has tremendous appreciation for what you did. But if he hits 5 straight on you, big deal. He's done it to everybody. He's done it to certainly better players than me and Hall of Famers. So you don't worry about those kind of things. And the other thing about playing that team, Jay, was there was a completely different electricity in the building, even driving to the arena, that you felt when you were about to play the Chicago Bulls than anybody else. And that was the case even for a home game.
To me, it's so unfortunate that we had so many great players back in the days and you hardly see them coming on NBA shows giving their opinions about other players. I mean, there are so many guys who have so many great stories to tell, but you have the feeling that it's always like the same 20 faces that go to those podcast shows. It's unfortunate, but hopefully we find more guys to actually give their stories about other players. Anyway, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and hopefully I'll see you next time on the Basketball Time Machine.
I had to guard that motherfucker. Motherfucker gave us 40.